Well, remember that famous saying, water, water everywhere, but not a drop to drink? That is the harsh reality now for thousands of people across here in Kent and neighbouring Sussex who haven't had supplies or indeed intermittent supplies since the weekend. Yes, the reservoirs are full of water. That is not the problem. The problem is that South East Water only has a limited capacity to turn this water into this water each day, something that you can drink. And if you are unlucky enough to live at the end of a long mains line where other villagers are taking off water ahead of you, if there aren't being the supplies being replenished enough because so many people are taking water, if you're in the village at the end of the line, there's nothing left, not a drop.
Inside, let's have a look at your hands. Uh-oh. Come on, let's see if we can wash them.
At Rotherfield Primary in East Sussex, there's only bottled water for washing hands.
No, nothing. Hands out then. Let's use some bottled water.
All the children had to be sent home on Monday when the main supplies failed. Just a quarter of them are back in class today.
As you can see, we have no water at all. The odd dribble, but it's been like that since Monday.
And what about the toilets?
We're using buckets and bottled water.
A week of disruption the head thinks could have been avoided.
They're very patient at the moment, but it can't go on. It's been a long week trying to deal with a situation that's not of our own making, and very little communication from South East Water until yesterday, and it's just been really difficult. Coming on top of all the lockdowns, this is just not what the children need.
There's plenty of water in local reservoirs, but then it needs to be treated and sent to storage tanks. And South East Water only holds in reserve enough treated water to supply its customers for one day.
So this is where we're cleaning the sediment out of the water. Since
the weekend, that capacity has been outstripped by demand. So you're blaming your customers effectively for being wasteful?
Absolutely not. We've seen a really difficult change in demand, particularly across the South East Water region over the last few years.
In simple terms, you're saying your infrastructure is not up to the job at the moment?
Well, we have long-term plans that take into account population growth, climate change and things like that. As I say, what we've seen over the last 3 years is some changes that have really impacted things that we thought were going to become problems in 5 or 10 years' time have really become problems sooner.
For those without any supplies, 4 water collection points have been set up across Kent and East Sussex, but it's not diluting the local anger.
I have 20 large cattle with troughs empty all over the farm. What am I supposed to do? I can't give a bottle to a cattle, can I? So what is going on? I mean, this has been a week, nearly a week now.
That's just ridiculous. All the reservoirs are full. I mean, you've seen it on the news. I can't see any reason why. It's just poor infrastructure and poor investment.
The problem is the call centre people are very good, but the wrong people are there. It ought to be all the directors and the managing director fielding all the calls.
4,000 customers are still without main supplies this evening, and 1.2 million are now under a hosepipe and sprinkler ban to try to restore water pressure to those affected households. Catherine Jones, 5 News.